You could hear a pin drop. Right, we'll get on with it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to what is the best loved object, the most famous object in the whole of the Bose collection. It's the silver swan. Swan, she was made in the year 1772, which makes her 242 years old. From start to finish, it took the silversmiths, clockmakers, just over 1 year to produce the swan, and she is the exact replica of a female mute swan. And the amount of silver they used just to make the bird itself, it was 30 pounds of silver. That's 13 kilos for the younger ones. It's very, very basic construction. She's 3 clocks. One clock it will control the glass rods. When they were made, they were twisted. When they operate today, it will resemble running water. The second clock controls the music box. This music box, it plays 6 different tunes. And the third most important of the 3 clocks will control the beak, head, neck of the swan, and the fish, I know you can't see, in the foreground. Men responsible for his creation, there was 2 main ones. One, he was an English-born silversmith. He had the name of James Cox. But I can find no reference in any book about Mr. Cox being a silversmith in London towards the end of the 18th century. He was a businessman. He owned arcades, museums in London where these would play for money. Now, one of these arcades, museums, it was called the Golden Urn. It was off Fleet Street in a little place called Shoe Lane. Shoe Lane still exists in London today. The museum, I'm afraid, went a long time ago. Now, I also discovered in 1772, to see this perform, it would have cost every one of yous £1 guinea each. Value that guinea today, several £100s. So you'll cough up the rest, thank you later. And Shoe Lane, at that moment in history, it was a notorious area of London. It's where the Georgian gentlemen would go for their nights out. And we'll end that story there. The most famous landmark, Shoe Lane today, it would be St. Paul's Cathedral. Okay. The second man, he was responsible for the clockwork mechanism. He was a very, very eccentric Flemish inventor. He had the name of John Joseph Merlin. Now, he made these in quite large numbers, but he was also responsible for the very first roller skate, a musical keyboard instrument, a weighing machine, and the very first rotisserie. Now, he also had a museum arcade in London. It was in Hanover Square. He called it Merlin's Cave. Any questions? No, good. Right, Bose, he bought this swan. He bought it in 1872. He paid £200 for it. A guesstimate, swan's value today, please? No, that's totally wrong. Do you watch the antiques programmes? Anita Manning, the Scottish lady. I asked Anita, she told me it's worth a few bob. But she told me later on the day that it was priceless. But it's not unique. There's only one more automaton that still exists today by the same makers. It's a peacock. He stands 10 feet tall, made of gilt bronze. Housed at the Hermitage Museum, St. Petersburg, Russia. Now, he was bought in 1769 for £1,600. It was purchased by a Prince Potemkin. He bought it for his mistress, who just happened to be his ruler, Catherine the Great. It's played once a year. I wish that parrot was played once a year. It's what the Russians call their White Night. It's our 21st of June. But if you go onto YouTube on your computers, Silver Swan Bose Museum, you can see this time and time again, and also the peacock time and time again. I played them on my computer. I timed each program. The peacock's program, 57 seconds. The swans, I'm afraid, 34. But zoom into both birds' plumages. They're identical. A slight problem with the swan at the moment, she won't stop playing the music. But we'll see what she does today.